It feels so good reshaping your life. You ever notice how a lot of times magic can be hit and miss? You get little results here and there, but it's not consistent. But then once it does start to get consistent, not just the magic getting stuck in the ethers, but you're actually able to ground it out and start getting tangible results consistently. Eventually, a sorcerer is going to want to reshape their entire life. In fact, it can be very useful, very wise to actually put yourself to the test. Not to prove something to someone else, but to prove it to yourself that you actually have the power. And one of the best ways of doing that is with financial sorcery. If you can't raise your own conditions up and live the life that you want to live, how can you do that for others? And that's something that I see a lot of occultists doing, is they are offering their services to the occult community, but they're not proving themselves out there in the real world. That's where the spiritual rubber meets the road. Because you see, in the occult community, everybody wants you to succeed. And they're also wanting to buy into whatever it is that you're projecting at them, whether or not it's real. And with financial sorcery, that really drives home whether or not you can actually perform the magic, because out there, they don't care whether or not you succeed. You don't have cheerleaders. You don't have people buying into whatever it is that you're projecting at them. You either have the money or you don't. You can either perform or you cannot. And so many sorcerers claim to be all-powerful beings, and yet they live in squalor. How much have you seen this? Most are living in poor living conditions, and they're on social media. They have a dead-end job that they've had for years, or they are jumping from one job to the next, but not advancing. Their pay rate is still the same. They're not appreciated. They're not respected. Being ground up and living in a fantasy world where they think they have all this power. Obsessing about the astral and the feels. And their magic is utterly disconnected from tangible reality. You see, your life actually reflects the kind of power you have. You can claim to channel the power of titans and ancient primordial deities and angels, demons, whatever. But is your life actually reflecting that kind of power? Something to think about. A while back, I was living a stagnant life. Nothing bad was happening, nothing major, but then nothing really good either. I was just treading water. And then I decided, you know what? I want to progress in life. I want to move forward. And so that's what I did. I started reshaping my life the way that I want it to be. Doing the magic, especially with financial sorcery, and taking the opportunities that came my way. Now, the opportunities that come your way may not be what you want at first, but you keep your eye on the goal. Because the spirits that work financial sorcery, they won't work with somebody who is undisciplined. So financial sorcery is also a test of self-discipline. And what I needed was a job that was close by where I lived. Well, because my car had broken down a long time ago, and I had to bicycle everywhere or hitch a ride with someone else. So I landed a job at a butcher shop that was a bike ride away from me. The first thing that I wanted after that was to get a car. And less than a week later, boom. My coworker wants to sell his car, and he sells it to me for $1,000. That's a good car. I wanted a raise because I was working minimum wage there. And within 2 weeks, got a raise. Not just me, but all of us end up getting a raise, which the owners are a bit of a stickler. They're pretty close-fisted when it comes to their money. So getting a raise is actually quite a big deal. Then I'm wanting to switch jobs because the butcher shop job, it's physically intense. And I could do it, but I could feel the wear and tear on my body. I have to use healing magic and supplements to be able to manage this. And I was perpetually exhausted. So I'm like, you know what? I want to switch jobs. And within 2 weeks, I had 6 job offers. Owners of other companies coming into the butcher shop, coming up to me and asking if I want to work for them. I was the only one getting these offers. No one else. Now, half of these jobs were just as difficult as the butcher shop, but they were paying better. So I narrowed it down to 2 good jobs. 2 good jobs with high pay. And this is what happens on the upward spiral, is you no longer have to choose between the lesser of 2 evils, but rather the greater of 2 goods. And that can have its own sort of conundrums associated with it, where you actually have to reject good offers in order to pursue better offers. There was one job in particular. It's literally not even a third of the work that I was putting into the butcher shop, and yet I'm getting paid so much more. Now, I was busting my ass at the butcher shop. I wasn't sitting around playing around on my phone. I was doing the work and treating the job as if I owned the place, and I was taking care of things as if it was my business. And that's the kind of mentality that's required for these financial spirits to work with you. That is the road to success. But then from there, you build on what it is that you're doing and get into better and better positions. A lot of sorcerers, they'll have this mentality with financial magic where they think that you can cast the magic and then you can behave however you want and be lazy and expect the magic to do all the work for you. No, the magic creates the path of least resistance for opportunities to come your way. You still have to work the job. However, the type of job can be swapped out and you can get better and better jobs over time. It's like this is what it is to live on the upward spiral. You don't immediately go from the bottom all the way to the top overnight. That's not living the upward spiral. That is rare. Rarely you could actually jump up there, similar to winning the lottery, but that's typically not how the magic is going to manifest. The magic you will typically manifest as an upward spiral if you are doing it correctly and you make better and better progress. And it's a series of tangibly manifested results that build upon one another. Also, gratitude is another key to this. Be thankful for what you have. Be thankful for what you've been given, even if it sucks for the time being. Still be thankful that you have this opportunity, but don't settle. That is the upward spiral.